I never thought betrayal could come from the two people I loved and trusted most in this world. My name is Michael. I'm 35 now. But the story I'm about to tell you takes me back to when I was 28. Back then, life felt stable. I had a wife I adored, Emily, and a best friend I practically considered my brother Daniel. We had known each other since we were kids, and he was there for every milestone in my life. From scraped knees on the playground to college, nights out, from my first heartbreak to the day I married Emily, he was always standing right beside me. If you asked me who I trusted the most in this world, my answer would have been simple: my wife and my best friend. Emily and I had been married for 3 years at the time. We weren't rich, but we were happy. Or at least that's what I thought. We had a small apartment in Chicago, nothing fancy, but it was ours. Emily worked as a nurse, pulling long shifts at the hospital, while I worked in IT support. Our schedules didn't always line up, but I thought we made the most of our time together. And Daniel, he was always around. Sometimes I'd come home from work and find him sitting on my couch, drinking a beer with Emily, watching TV, waiting for me to get back. I never thought twice about it. I was just glad my best friend and my wife got along so well. One night, though, something felt different. I remember it was a Friday. I had stayed late at the office because of a server crash, and when I finally clocked out, it was almost midnight. On my drive home, I called Emily to let her know I was on the way. She didn't answer. I called again, still nothing. I told myself maybe she was exhausted and had gone to bed early. But when I got closer to the apartment, my gut twisted. Emily's car was parked outside, but all the lights in the living room were still on. When I walked upstairs, I noticed something that didn't sit right with me. The door wasn't locked. Emily was always careful about locking the door, especially late at night. I stepped inside quietly, not sure why I was being so cautious, but something told me to keep my guard up. I could hear faint laughter coming from the bedroom, my bedroom. At first, I smiled. Maybe she was watching some show on her laptop and had dozed off laughing. But then I heard a voice, a man's voice. And not just any man's voice. It was Daniel's. My heart stopped. For a moment, I couldn't move. I just stood there, frozen, trying to make sense of it. Why would Daniel be in my bedroom with my wife at midnight? My chest tightened, my palms started to sweat, and I felt a rage building in me I had never known before. Slowly, I walked toward the bedroom, and with every step, my stomach turned. The laughter got clearer, and then it stopped. Maybe they heard my footsteps. I pushed the door open, and what I saw will never leave me. There they were. Emily, wrapped in a blanket, her face pale as a ghost, and Daniel, shirtless, sitting on the edge of my bed. My bed. For a second, none of us spoke. It was like time froze. Then Emily's voice broke the silence. Michael, this isn't what it looks like. I laughed. I actually laughed. Not what it looks like? Are you kidding me, Emily? I'm not blind. Daniel stood up, his hands raised as if that would calm me down. Mike, listen, I didn't mean for this to happen. We were drunk. I cut him off. Drunk? That's your excuse? You've known me since we were 6 years old, Dan. 6. You were supposed to be my brother, and you, Emily. I married you because I thought you were the one person in this world who would never betray me. And here you are, in my bed, with him. Emily started crying, tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I swear it was a mistake. But the thing is, mistakes don't happen like this. This wasn't some accident. This was betrayal, planned or not. And it cut deeper than anything I'd ever felt before. I didn't yell. I didn't throw punches, though every muscle in my body wanted to. Instead, I just stood there staring at them, until finally I whispered, "Get out." Daniel looked at me like he wanted to say more, but I snapped, "Get out! Both of you!" Emily tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. I couldn't stand her touch. I couldn't even look at her. She grabbed some clothes. Daniel pulled his shirt on, and together they walked past me, out of the apartment. As the door slammed shut behind them, I sank to the floor. I felt hollow, empty. The days that followed were some of the darkest of my life. Emily tried calling me, texting me, showing up at my work, but I refused to see her. Daniel? He disappeared. He didn't even have the decency to face me again. For weeks, I replayed that night in my head, torturing myself with questions. How long had it been going on? Was it the first time, or just the first time I caught them? Eventually, I filed for divorce. Emily didn't fight it. Maybe she was too ashamed, or maybe she had already moved on with Daniel. I don't know. But what I do know is that I was broken, completely shattered. The two people I trusted most in this world had destroyed me. But here's the thing about hitting rock bottom. The only way left is up. After the divorce, I moved out of the city. I threw myself into my work, took on new projects, and even started my own small IT business. Slowly, piece by piece, I rebuilt my life. At first, it was just about surviving, but over time, I started thriving. My business grew. I hired employees, and for the first time in years, I felt like I had a purpose again. 3 years later, something happened that I never expected. I ran into Daniel. It was at a conference in New York, of all places. He looked older, tired, like life hadn't been kind to him. When he saw me, his eyes widened. "Mike," he said, almost whispering, "Man, I don't know what to say." I looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time, I didn't feel anger. I just felt nothing. He wasn't my friend anymore. He was just another stranger. "You don't have to say anything," I told him. "We're done. We've been done." He nodded, his shoulders slumped, and walked away. As for Emily, I heard she ended up marrying someone else, but not Daniel. Funny how life works, isn't it? The people who destroy you don't always end up happy together. Sometimes they just burn everything down and move on to their next victim. Looking back now, I realize that betrayal was the hardest thing I ever went through, but also the thing that made me who I am today. It forced me to grow, to stand on my own, to find strength I didn't know I had. Would I ever want to live through it again? Hell no. But would I change it, knowing where it led me? Maybe not. Because now, when I tell this story, I don't feel like a victim anymore. I feel like a survivor. And if you're listening to this and you've been through something similar, if you've been betrayed by the people you trusted most, I want you to know this. You're not alone. It will hurt. It will break you down. But someday, you'll stand back up. And when you do, you'll realize that the people who betrayed you, they don't define your story. You do.